Hi, this is On Imagination with the Healing Garden and the Alma Mater. This particular video is going to focus on what happens with you to you after you have completed the paid internship and or you are ready to graduate from the Healing Garden program and you want to go off and venture on your own. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a whiteboard here. And we want to make it very clear to you all of your options. The first thing we want to clarify to you is that this is 100% flexible and customizable. So if you have an idea, customizable, or if you have a proposal, we absolutely want to hear it. Ideas or proposals are welcome. So this is basically what we offer. So if you see something here and you're like, well, I have an idea, we absolutely can do negotiations and counter communications on that. That's something we 100% want to see from people. So the first thing we offer you is a permanent position in the Healing Garden, a permanent position in the Healing Garden. That is the very first thing we offer you. Once you graduate, if you want to stay with the Healing Garden and you want to stay on staff because you believe in the work we're doing, absolutely. And then we have somebody who we know them in traditional business as floaters. And I kind of like that and I don't, but I want to amend this. So I'm going to call them garden floaters. Now, I don't know if that sounds, so the thing with the floaters in the garden is these are people who basically, what did I call them? I used this term in Brain to Books when I was doing Brain to Books and it worked out beautifully. I think I called them floaters. So basically these were people who could do all of it. It was a jack of all trade. It was somebody who was a jack of all trade. And they could literally step wherever they needed to be. They had 100%, I want to work in this department today. I want to work on this department today. Absolutely. So they could go anywhere, do anything. And there's going to be people who I just want to accumulate as many skills as I can. So we're going to call these people skill masters, where they are literally focused on rounding out. Basically, they want to be well-rounded. Absolutely, we nourish that here. 100%. There are people, and this is I want to really sit down and talk about. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he talks about people who come in and big number one rule is collect your skills, collect skills. And the way the current business world is set up, you have to go into job A, tell people what you want to do, go through the process, get hired, focus on that job, work it until you secretly have the skill built up, and then jump ship and go somewhere else. And that's really it. These are former ship jumpers, okay? Ship jumpers are the people who go in, learn a skill, and then they get out. And that is something we want to offer an alternative to. We know you're collecting skills. That's exactly what you should be doing. We want to give you the best environment for you to do that. But instead of you having to come here, do one job, and then leave to go do another job somewhere else, you can learn that skill and go through the hiring process. We'll just move you wherever you want to be moved to when you're ready. So if you want to come in and say, I want to work sales. Okay, here's sales. They'll train you up. So you go into sales and you're in sales for as long as you want to be in sales. After you've mastered sales, then you can come to us and say, okay, I've gotten what I want out of sales. I want to go over to marketing. Okay, cool. We'll get you set up. So then we transfer you over to marketing and everything stays the same. We just transfer you over to marketing. And then you go into the marketing department and you master that skill. Then after a while, you come to us and you say, okay, I've done sales. I've done marketing. Now what I really want to do is networking. All right, great. We'll put you in the networking department. We put you in the networking department. Then you get to mastering. So here's what ends up happening. You stay in the same place. You don't have to keep reselling yourself and re-getting a job and secretly I'm here for the skills and no, we don't do that. We are very transparent. You tell us what skill you want to work with and we'll put you in whatever department. And then we're going to cycle you through it. Now, here's the best part of this. If the Healing Garden is set up so that we have no vacancy, we have collaborations with all the businesses that do inside the Healing Garden. So there is always going to be somebody needing somebody somewhere on a project. Always. Like that's what we're doing is basically you have all of the businesses who need their sales team. Here's all the sales, learning sales, doing sales in the sales department. And it's all the businesses doing it. And then over here, we've got all the sales or all the marketing, all the businesses doing all of their marketing and advertising in one space. And then we've got all the people doing all the networking in this location. So if the Healing Garden doesn't have it, then you can network and find a company that is looking for it. Hey, I'm wanting to brush up on my sales skills. Does anyone here offer sales? Does anyone have a sales position? Somebody's always going to have a sales position. Someone's always going to have marketing. Always. There's always, and mind you, this is an apprenticeship. And you can turn right around and go, well, I want to do my own business. I want to start my own marketing company. Well, great, you're in the right place. So instead of you having to constantly jump ship and then go over to another business, we do, it's literally everything right here in one place. So you don't have to keep going through the hiring process. And remember, we're united over the same purpose. So the only problem that we're going to really run into, if you can call it that, is your purpose going to change? I don't want to save the world anymore. Okay, maybe now we need to talk about parting ways. But as long as we're in the saving the world business together, let's do it all at the same space. So how you want to move around this whole thing and how you want to shift, that's entirely up to you, and we'll adjust it. So the next option that we have available for you, you got that permanent position in the Healing Garden. You have the garden floaters who are jack of all trades. They're the ship jumpers. We're just going to call them the ship jumpers. And they're the ones who just move all over to make sure everything's moving. The next thing we have is the ladder climbers. And the ladder climbers are the people who want to master that top CEO corporate. They want the big picture. These are who I refer to as the metaheuristic minds. This is literally metaheuristic mind training. We're going to call them apprentices. Apprenticeship. These are people who want to do what I do and who want the training for it. Bottom line, this is literally the metaheuristic mind apprenticeship. And that is what we have here. So that's something else you can come in and say, I want to do that. And we're not going to do it secretly. We know you're training to go do your own fleet somewhere else. Great. So this is one of the options of what's going on inside the garden. The other thing is you bring your idea to the table and you build and organize it under the Healing Garden brand. You literally create your own department. And that's absolutely great. You can do that too. Okay, so that is everything inside the Healing Garden. So the next thing that we have here. So I'm going to actually do this. Let me hear. The next thing that we have here is you can collaborate. Now, the first thing we have is the franchise. And the franchise has two sections to it. We have the children franchise, and then we have the adult franchise. And I'm going to go ahead and put it here that you can do both. I do not mix. We do not mix. And the reason why is because our adult franchise opens the door for homeless people needing jobs, needing facilities. That door is open up for them. So the franchise for children is our done for you homeschooling program. So you can run one of the children's done for you homeschooling program. The next thing is the franchise for adults, and this is the parenting and adulting school with the jobs for homeless. And that's going to have a room and board, food, clothing, shower, facilities, resources on site. The next thing we're going to have is going to be, you can do both, where it's going to be children's here, and then it's going to be the adults here, and they're side by side, separate buildings, but side by side. So you can oversee both. So that's one of the options available to you. And then the next thing we have is, let's say you're like, okay, I want to go and do my own brand. That's perfectly fine. So now we have collaboration without the Healing Garden brand. The next thing we have is the pay it forward loan. And this is again without the Healing Garden brand. And then we have the startup capital investment without the Healing Garden brand. We have the collaboration with the Healing Garden brand or the stamp of approval. And it's pretty much the same thing, the pay it forward loan. So we're giving you the option to use our brand or not. So there you have it. And the reason why is because when you have an established brand and you partner with the established brand, now you get to ride off of their marketing and network. If you use their stamp of approval, now you can see, oh, we have the affiliation, we have the credibility. That's going to do a lot to literally propel you forward. So you're not starting from scratch. You also have access to our network. You have access to our forum and market. With that, you have access to our brand. So you can show, look, I was trained here. So in addition to that, we also have that startup capital investment so that, again, you can either go out and venture 100% on your own, or we can sever all ties. So that's really what this is we have a sever all ties, which again is perfectly fine. So what we're doing with the sever all ties option is you keep 100% of what you have built, own, created, and you pay us back. And that's it. So you can literally venture out completely on your own if you want. The next thing we have is and I'm going to call this the collaboration, where we're not severing all ties. It's you. That's where we go for the synergy. So we're going to call it a synergistic collaboration. And that's where we continue to work together. But you keep, well, that's where we get into negotiations. You either keep 80% of your brand, and that would be negotiated depending upon a lot of terms. That's where legal would step into that. And you would also get the benefit of that using our brand. So there's that. Then the next thing we have here is you are literally under the brand. So you are using our brand, and that's what we're doing here. So this is using our brand to live your dream. So that's that option. And then the next one is you work with us for the same cause. There you go. So those are our 4 options whenever you come onto the Healing Garden. There is no deadline. There is no timeline. There is no stipulation. This whole thing revolves around the 12 ethics. And there it is. This is it right here. So you have your work with us for the same cause. That is permanent position in the Healing Garden, garden floaters, jack of all trades, skill masters, well-rounded ship jumpers, ladder climbers, metaheuristic mind apprenticeship. You bring your idea to the table. You build and organize it under the Healing Garden brand. Using our brand to live your dream. And that's whatever you need to do, however you want to do it. That's the franchise. And then severing all ties options where you keep 100%. I'm going to go ahead and move this because this is more logical to put it in this sequence. There we go. So then there's the synergy collaboration where you keep 80% of your brand negotiated using our brand. And that's where we're going to get legal in there. Collaboration with the Healing Garden, pay it forward. And then the sever all ties options, which is, again, is perfectly fine. You keep 100% of what you have built, owned, created. you pay us back. We also have, we have the collaboration without the healing garden, and that's where it's side by side. So we have a few companies already who do this, where they are collaborating with us. They are keeping autonomy. So this is what I referred to as business autonomy. First of all, if you don't know what autonomy is, autonomy means your ownership. It's you making ownership of your own choices. So it's choice ownership. There you go. That's a really good, literally, it's choice ownership. That is it right there. So your business remains full autonomy. So it's your business, my business, side by side. This is what I do with Concentric Industries. We are side by side. He remains his full autonomy. I remain my full autonomy. We are side by side in collaboration. And we can also do a hybrid. And this is the other thing, is this is all available with a hybrid option. So if you want to mix and match this entire thing up, we do that too. And this is again where our legals would sit down and like figure this out. This is where we would enter into legals doing their job, and we would just like, this is what I want, this is what they want. We're coming together and just create a hybrid. So this is where we get into legal, and just we would pass that over to them. So if you have your idea and you're like, oh, well, I want this part to be a hybrid, I want this part to be collaborated, I want this part to be under their brand, but I want this part to be my own independent thing, great. That's a headache for our legal department to figure out. We're 100% like, sounds good. You tell us what you want to do and we'll set you all up. It doesn't matter one way or the other. We're highly flexible. So when you are done with the program, and there's no you have to be done with the program by this day. We like to start it right off with a year, but if you want to continue, if you want to, that's fine. So we have the 1 year paid internship, and then it's, well, I want to continue this, but okay, we'll just keep you on staff. We'll just move you over here. And there is no firing you. There's no firing, because we vet you for this. So, and we have the mental facilities. So if there's a problem, we can help you get down to the core of what's going on. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. I think that's pretty much it. So it's a lot to think about. And this is where I say, don't do anything emotionally. This is going to be like one of my big things is, if you are emotional, we slam the brakes and we do a step back. Take a week, take 30 days to feel this out before you make a decision. There's no urgency. You can always change your mind. That is something I'm going to be really huge on, is whatever I say, you can always change your mind. The other thing is the 12 ethics. The 12 ethics, they are vital. And I'm going to really emphasize equal footing and logic. Logic and truth. And that's it right there. That is it right there. I am such a stickler on these things right here. Hybrid options to mix and match this up. You can always change your mind. The 12 ethics with equal footing, logic, and truth. And I'm going to throw this out here. Time and urgency does not exist. And I'm going to put a little caveat, unless this is medical, restaurant, or entertainment. That's the only time where urgency matters, is if you are dealing with medical. Okay, ORs, ERs, they kind of have urgency there. Restaurants, I'm not going to touch that one. That's not a business I do. And entertainment. So if we say we're doing a show, the show must go on. It's a thing we do. The show must go on. So there it is. There it is. Those are the three things of, if you are not in the medical, restaurant, or entertainment, time and urgency does not exist here. None. It happens when it happens. And if the pieces don't align and fall right where they need to, then it's not going to go. So we need to make sure that we are spot on with making sure everything aligns accordingly if we're dealing with something entertainment wise, so that it launches in the right place. So that's pretty much it. And again, this is completely open for, hey, I got an idea. Great, let's hear it. Let's sit down and hear it. Let's talk about it. If your brain, this is a space, I want to talk to you about Steve Jobs because this is really, really important to me. I was watching a video that he had released talking about the dumbest thing, I'm paraphrasing here, the dumbest thing a business owner could do is not listen to the ideas of his employees. Because you're going to have people who you hire who are as smart as you and also who are smarter than you in other areas. So when they have an idea, why wouldn't you listen to them? Why wouldn't you nourish them to come out with their ideas? And I went, oh yeah, 100% agree, which is why I have a yes policy of you come up with an idea, the answer is going to be yes. You're going to oversee it. But this is the atmosphere. This is a concept that I have practiced, that Steve Jobs practiced. And this is literally the policy of this is a working model. Equal footing, this works. Now, in the comments of that video, there were a lot of uneducated people who gave their opinion. And what they said was, well, you can't do that with, and they just started to spout it all off with all of the problems with that. But here's what they don't know, the 12 ethics. And this does not work for somebody who is a foundational. And Steve Jobs knew that without knowing that. This only works with people who are visionaries and pioneers, which is the only people we hire in our community. This is the only people we bring in here are the visionaries and pioneers. We don't have foundationals in the Healing Garden. So it doesn't apply. And this is why this business model has been needed. It is a business model for visionaries and pioneers. You have the foundational business model, and in my opinion, in my logical deduction, you should not have a foundational business model because that keeps people in a very specific mindset. And now you've got people who are in the wrong place and they have no way of finding out if they are, which is where I'm going. There's got a lot of problems with that, but we're going to figure it out eventually. Mankind will figure it all out and it will sort itself out. This for now is what we have for an alternative to that, which is a visionary pioneer mindset and environment, so that a person in this environment can absolutely come out and naturally step into their own self. And it's very much that win-win-win trade of you bring us value. By you being part of us, you are boosting our value. We are giving you training. We are giving you the mental facility. We are giving you the space to nourish you. We are nourishing you while you give us value. That is our exchange. Now, whatever ideas you come up with, they're going to go out and help the people. And that in turn is going to help more people. So they will come in. So now we got this beautiful triad happening of we're going to nourish you. You're going to give us value. You're going to then go out and nourish more people to come in so we can nourish them. So they will give us more value. So we can then send them out to help more people. So this is the circuit we are building right now. This is exactly the rotation we have. So after you are done with the program, and even if you are inside the program, like if you step in, you're watching this video, let's say you're on day one, you just saw this video and you're like, this is what I want to do. This is exactly it. Great. Let's get you started. And if you're here 6 months, a year, and you're like, I just don't know. That's okay. That's all right. If you don't know what you're doing after a year, we're not doing our job. All right? If you are here for a year and you still don't know who you are, I got to sit back and really look at Triadic Healing and go, okay, now what did I mess up? Because that's on me. So that's absolutely on me. Like, there's something I'm not doing with that is an emergency. I got to figure that out. So if you are, let's say 6 months in, you're like, oh my God, yes, this is exactly what I do. Great, let's get you started. Let's say 3 months after that, you go, oh no, I have another idea. I want to change it. Okay, that's great too. That's normal. What happens is, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot, you have 4 dreams. You have dream A, dream B, dream C, dream D. Dream A is the dream you want to do that you don't believe you can do it, so you never talk about it. This is what you dreamed when you were 4 years old. This is your 4-year-old self dream. Okay, this is the dream that we all have that we never talk about because we don't believe we can have it. So we settle for dream B. Dream B is the dream that we recompose to edit dream A because we don't think we can have this, but we think we can have this one. So this is us settling for dream A. And then dream C is the dream that we create, that we kind of do while we buy ourselves the time before we can pursue dream B. Maybe I'm going to go get this job until I have enough money to do this. But we all end up doing dream D, which is what our parents want us to do. So we all do dream D until we're about 40 years old. Then we realize life sucks and we go for dream B. I'm sorry, we go for dream C. And we do this for a while before we realize this is not at all what I want to do. I really want to go dream B. No, you want to do dream A. Let's get to dream A. And this is all we want from you is dream A. Let's talk about this one. Now, this happens in literally 99% of all cases. You get to dream A, and then it unlocks this part of your brain and awakens this, I never even dared dream of this dream because it was so scary and big dream. This is the one we're going for. So the Healing Garden and the Alma Mater are designed on purpose to get you here to dream A, to unlock this unspoken, forbidden dream. So we want you to get to dream A for the sole purpose of unlocking this. So if you get to this point where you're finally at dream A and you're like, yes, this is it. And then you have that epiphany and you see something that you never dared dream before. And then you have that moment of, oh, but I don't want to seem indecisive. Oh, no, we're expecting this. We're planning on it. We purposely set this up so that this would happen because this is the dream that's going to change the world. And this is how it's done. So you might need some mental work. You might need to sort out some stuff with you in order to get to dream A. But don't have yourself fooled. There is another thing up here happening. Now, in some cases, this is a modification of this. That happens. But you're never going to unlock this if you don't do dream A, which is why dream A is so important. So go back to when you were 4 years old. Think about what you wanted to be when you were 4. The very first time someone said to you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you came up with something really weird. That's what we want. That's what we're going for. That is you. And we're going to bring it to life. Now we have the entertainment business over here. We have corporate over here. We have the materialistic mind of global solutions over here where we're going to save the world. We have world solutions. We got a lot here. And then we have, well, this is that other area where it's whatever you can come up with, we'll make it happen. So if you don't dream it, we can't know to build it. This is literally a dream factory. That's what we're doing here. It's a dream factory. So we're going to go ahead, wrap this up, send it out. And I'm going to have a form so that fill out the form and let us know, communicate with us. Let us know, reach out. I cannot emphasize that enough, that getting to these Zoom meetings on Tuesdays for the onboarding and then filling out the forms to communicate to us who and what you are. That is such a big deal because that communicates to us that you are a meta-heuristic mind and that we need to place you. Now, some people are going to come into the Healing Garden and be like, dude, I just want to get better. Oh, okay, that's fine too. Perfectly fine. That's okay. That's you're right where you need to be then. That's fantastic. If you change your mind, this is a door opened for you. So it's absolutely you deciding where you want to be. And this is opening that door for the people who know, yeah, I'm not okay working my 9 to 5. I'm not okay working my Etsy shop. That's okay. For some people, that's their dream. Fantastic. For other people, that is not enough. And that's okay too. We just want to make sure that everybody gets to the right place for them. So thank you so much. And if you have any other questions, just please let us know. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.